Yo, what's up, man? This is BTR. Just want to talk about the Andre Ward's latest fight against Sullivan Barrera. I thought he looked spectacular. I thought he looked like one of the best fighters in the world, and he didn't disappoint. I thought he's about the same. He's about the same level. He got caught with some punches. I think it's always tough to say as a guy getting is there rust, because people always say, well, he's struggling, so there's rust. But if he would have dominated, they would just say, well, it's not tough competition. I don't know how much rust was involved. The reality in boxing and the reality in anything you do, basketball, heck, it can be writing, it could be singing, it can be rapping. You do it often enough, you're going to be a little more sharp. And if you don't do it that much, then you're going to be a little rusty. So nothing can replace training. I mean, nothing can replace an actual fight. Not even training. You can work out. You can spar a little bit. You can run and hit the weights and all of that. But I mean, nothing can truly replace training. An actual fight. Not even training. Not even high level training. And Andre Ward probably is right now the pound for pound man. He's the man. He's the man with the plan right now, and he's able to make things look, and I know to the casual fan, look boring. He's a to the casual fan. The casual fan's not gonna like it. It's not gonna like it. I know they won't, and that's okay. I think that the hard thing is I find pretty tough. Is that in a sport of boxing, only the Hispanic fighters are able to do the thing where they're able to show their family. Like Marquez, Juan Manuel Marquez is not an exciting fighter. He's been in exciting fights, but for the most part, he's not a super exciting fighter. He's a counterpuncher. But the thing about Ward, Hispanic people carry the sport. I always say that, and that just whether it be Mexican, Puerto Rico, they carry the sport on such a huge level that we don't, at least in America, the American side, because overseas they're still getting the respect that they deserve, and rightfully so. Ward he's a mild mannered, he's a gent, he's a mild mannered gentleman outside of the ring, and that doesn't sell. Regardless of how good it is, he just doesn't sell. And it'll be interesting to see, can you just win? Because the Kovalev's not even a super draw. Amazingly, that's why Kovalev keeps fighting on other people's home turf, because he doesn't have a home turf of his own, and that's tough. The sad thing in boxing is that we have to have this conversation every fight, every time a big fight of substance comes across. We have to talk about, can this fighter sell at this arena? Can this happen? Can it? In the NBA, we don't talk about when LeBron's about to go against Steph Curry, and we don't talk about, hey, I don't know about Steph. Steph ain't gonna sell out that arena, or LeBron's not selling enough jerseys heading into this game, so it's not gonna happen. It's super tough, man. Boxing is so different from any other sport because we don't always get the fights we want because it's based on money. It's not based on like an NBA. NBA is based on money, true, and you could probably count and probably look into like the referees and be like, oh man, they're throwing the fights. Maybe. But the one thing I can truly say is that you got a guy like Tim Duncan, who's not an exciting NBA player, who has 5 championships, who had 6 times going into the NBA Finals. He had 6 tries. So he got an opportunity to prove himself against LeBron James, the best player in the world. He has an opportunity to prove himself against Steph Curry, probably maybe the best player right now. And had a chance against some, Kobe, Jordan, regardless. And it's not about his marketability. He's, you don't always have to be marketable. Like, at what point does I'm just better than you kick in? And that's the problem with boxing right now. Like, where I want to see Triple G and I want to see Ward, and the problem is there's no pressure on Triple G to move up. There's pressure on Ward to move up and fight Kovalev. And that's a double standard in the sport. That's a double standard in the sport. I don't know if it's a black thing. I don't know if it's a black thing because I can't judge a person's heart. I truly can't. And I would say a few years ago, I probably would have just been like, man, it's a black thing. One thing I can say, it's a boxer thing. It's when you are a meticulous tactician in the ring, like a Mayweather, a Pernell Whitaker, Andre Ward, you're gonna get that label of being afraid. Because when you're a guy like Julio Cesar Chavez, who fights guys who had like, I think like 29 fights, where a guy either was, I think like had like zero experience. I believe that's the number for it. He had like a low number. You know, he fought guys who were either making their pro debut or had no victory. And with 29 different times, it's okay, because when he comes out, he's gonna be a warrior, and it's okay. And I don't know if it's a race thing. I do think it's a stylistic thing, and that when Ward makes things look so easy and Mayweather makes things look so easy, you get pressure. Triple G he's a brawler. He's a bruiser, and they call it Mexican style somehow. But you know, when you watch a Triple G fight, he's not gonna make it look easy. He's not going to. He's gonna get hit. He's gonna run into some blows, and the way he fights, you're gonna be, even if he fights a guy with 0 wins and 20 losses, and Triple G goes in there and he gets hit, but he's gonna probably end up knocking him out, of course. But you're gonna be like, he ain't afraid of nobody. How is Triple G afraid of anybody? Because look at his fighting style. Look at Ward's fight. Ward holds too much. Ward is he moves too much. He doesn't stand in one spot and trade. He doesn't knock nobody. I mean, these things happen in the sport, man, and you know. But man, Ward looked phenomenal, I thought, tonight. He against a solid competitor. Some guys were predicting an upset. I didn't see it, man. I didn't expect it to happen anyway. He looked phenomenal. He looked great, sharp. The problem with Ward is that a lot of people don't see is they're like, what does he do well? What does he do great? I don't know if he does anything great, but he does everything well, and it adds up to greatness. It's kind of like, I heard Ray Lewis say something I thought was so poignant, man, just so epic, and just the way he was trying to express it. He said, greatness is a whole bunch of good days accumulated. And that's what Andre Ward is. Andre Ward is a whole bunch of good aspects of boxing accumulated into greatness, into a great, body of work. And that's what it's going to end up being, I think. While watching him fight, well, before the fight started, in my head, I'm like, man, it's amazing, because he's one of the best fighters of his generation. And he has it, and, Floyd's done, more likely, I hope, and I'm not saying that because I'm not, because I'm trying to kick him out. Floyd's my favorite fighter, but, I just want him to stay out the sport, and, for the sake of the naysayers. But, man, Ward, I was like, man, this is the guy right now. He's the man. And that's a super pedestal, super platform, man, to be on. And, I think Ward's handling it well, man. And I think that hopefully we get the Kovalev fight. Hopefully we get the Triple G fight, and we'll see where it goes, man. But you got to respect this generation of fighters, man. Some great fighters, man. But that's all I want to talk about, man, for the moment. Appreciate every view I get, of course, man. Leave some comments, subscribe, do anything possible, man. Appreciate you.